Okay, this is gonna be a really weird video, but you guys can see the title. You guys know what it's gonna be about. So if you're not interested in this video, I completely understand. But I think people will be, from a collector standpoint, and just knowing who I am in general, and knowing my channel in general, and that I've been very particular about the way my collection has been, and how I've been collecting, and how I've been very stringent on really not selling a good portion of my collection. But I have decided to downsize some of my collection, and I have done that. And it's actually not I haven't gotten rid of like a huge chunk. I can literally name off the games in this video that I've gotten rid of, and I will be doing that near the end. But suffice to say, I ran into a guy at the flea market that I've run into before. Like I don't know him that well, but I knew him enough so like he was a casual acquaintance, basically, is what I'm saying. So he was talking to me, and he was like, "Hey, one of someone told him that I collect Tiger handhelds. And it was probably the mutual friend of ours that we have that knows I collect them. Um, and he was asking me like, "Do you have anything to sell?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I have a box of extras and doubles that I'm willing to sell." He's like, "Well, do you have anything else that you'd be willing to sell?" I'm like, I was like, "I don't know, man, not really, but like, you're more than welcome to come look at my collection if you're close by to where I live at." Um, and that's why you can see the container back there. We didn't put the container back upstairs. There's a little hiccup I'm going to mention too, and it's not as bad as it could have been, but I'll get to that. So yeah, he's like, "Yeah, where you at?" And then we told him where we lived at in relation to the flea market. He's like, "Oh, I know right where that is. It's not that far away." Turns out it was farther than he was thinking, but he still got to my house and was like, we were just sitting there chilling for a little bit, and I had the box ready of all the extra stuff, and I threw in some other stuff in there I didn't care about, like Mickey Mouse, the Mickey Mouse game where you rake the leaves. I threw that in there. Um, I think I put the loose Tiny Toons in there. I think he also had took the package one as well. I think that was one I let him get from me. Um, so he was going through my loose drawer over there where I have all my loose stuff. It was like pulling stuff out, just looking through it. And then we got to that container, and when he opened it, and well, my wife brought it down. My wife and him brought it down. When he opened it, I saw his facial expression changed, like to an "oh crap" moment. I was like, "What's wrong?" He's like, "There's water in here," and I was like, "What do you mean? There's water?" And he pulled out one of the games, and thank God it was just Shinobi, but it was like covered in like mold and mildew, and you could tell it had gotten wet. And I was like, "How in the hell did that happen?" He's like, "I don't know, but there's water in the bottom of this container." He's like, "We're gonna go through this, and I'm gonna dry every one of these out, and I have them all in these kind of bags right here. I have them in these kind of bags, okay, that my dad brought home from work, from where he works. So thank God I did that, because that most likely saved all the rest of them. There was only two other ones that got minorly wet. The one got pretty wet, and I think the packaging and manual was pretty much done, but the game is probably okay. But I sold it to him because I was like, "Well, I bought it for the package and manual and to have it complete. So if you want to buy it loose, $10, whatever." Um, so he spent like literal like an hour and a half helping me dry everything out, went through everything, said, "Look, these look everything looked fine. Everything was good. After he left, I went through some of the expensive ones I have, like GoldenEye, Resident Evil 2, stuff like that. They're all fine. They all still work. None of them got water damage. The problem is, I have no idea where the water came from. I don't know what it where it came from. We do have a leak in our roof that's like in the same room, but it's where they were. It wasn't where the water was dripping, and there was no water on top of the lid of the container. And the container where that container was, there was another container on top of it, and that container was completely dry. The only thing I can surmise is that maybe there was just moisture in the air that got trapped, because there wasn't a ton of, it wasn't like filled to the brim of water, but it was a decent amount of water in there. Because he took it outside and I heard him dumping, and I heard water sloshing around. So there was a decent amount in there. I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to talk to my dad about it later today when he comes home over here to give us our food and stuff, to see if he has any ideas about where it would have come from. Because I don't think it's the leaking roof. We know that's an issue. It's not a huge issue, but if that's where it came from, if that's a possibility, then we probably need to get looked at. And I have since moved the room that they're currently in, so they're not going to be in that room anymore. And that room does not have any kind of leak spots. So yes, we are aware of the roof and that. I'm not mentioning it for like woe is me stuff. It's a thing that happens to houses, guys. You guys know it's not a money issue. We don't want to pay for it, because like it's a lot of money to get like a new freaking roof on a house. It's a lot of money, and if if it's not bad to where it's like flooding the entire house, then we've kind of let it ride. But like now, it's kind of giving me some food for thought here. Like maybe we should actually get it looked at, because it might be worse than what we're thinking. But like I said, the lid of the container that was sitting on top of, because there was that container that you're seeing right there, and there's a like tannish grayish container that was sitting on top of this, the one you're seeing, and that one had moisture in it, but the other one didn't. So I don't know where the moisture came from. I'm thinking it had something to do with like humidity in the air or something, or moisture in the air. So maybe I need to get like a dehumidifier for the rooms in the house that I have them in. I have no idea. If someone can have any idea about where moisture would have came from, if it wasn't from like a leaking roof or anything like that, let me know, because I honestly am perplexed as to why this happened, because I firmly believe this. And so does the guy that I sold this stuff to. He told me if we would have went through that the day we did, and unbeknownst to me, because I never go up there, I can't go up there and check my stuff, and I wasn't that worried about it. I knew there was a leak up there, but I didn't think it would possibly affect that. Um, but knowing that now, I'm going to be way more vigilant about checking to make sure things are okay up there, because I don't really have anywhere else to put them in the house. Um, I mean, they were down in the basement, but that's not really a good spot to have them in the first place. Not because of leakage, just it's there's no good place to have them when the washer and dryer are down there and stuff like that. So, um, so yeah, he was like, if I wouldn't have been here to check all these, you might not have known this was happening, and a lot of these could have been ruined. Because, like I said, there was only like two or three that there was three or four that got damaged by wetness. Shinobi columns, which kind of sucked because the second Pocket Arcade columns was kind of hard to find, but whatever. Um, Lion King got kind of wet, but I needed to get a new one of that anyway because the artwork on the game was faded, so I sold that to him cheap just in case it didn't work. And Dennis the Menace, which, I mean, whatever, that's fine. The game wasn't that good anyway, so and I didn't pay a lot for it, thank God. And it's not that expensive if I wanted to replace it because I never did do a video on it. I always meant to, but I never did. Um, so luckily, that was all that was damaged. And I think maybe a little bit might have damaged my sealed copy of Sonic Underground because the spin wheel kind of feels kind of gritty. So I don't know if a little bit of moisture maybe got in there or something. I don't know. It's not a big deal since it's sealed. I'm not going to open it anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But um, hold on. Okay. Anyway, my dog was getting up and she's getting older, and I was making sure she was all right. Anyway, what I was saying before. So those are the only games that got ruined somewhat. Like I said, I don't know about Sonic Underground. I don't really care since I'm leaving it sealed anyway, so it doesn't really matter. The packaging itself looks fine. The problem with that is the speed up wheel is kind of exposed. So if moisture did get in there, um, then yeah, the game's probably done. But I mean, it still looks good on the outside. But I'm not gonna open it up just because I'm not gonna sell it anyway. Because that's part of my collection. I'm not. There's a lot of stuff I didn't sell. There's some stuff I did. I'll get to that in a second. But basically, I really think these bags saved my collection. So my dad, when he inadvertently brought these home and said it'd be probably a good idea to put these in there, he probably indirectly saved like 97% of the games that were in there. Because it could have been way worse than it was. And I'm thankful that guy that came over actually looked through my stuff. He went through everything. Both containers. He went through all of them. And he didn't have to do that. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock when he left. Around there. It might have been a little past 7. I don't remember. But I got emotional when he did that. Like before he left, I literally started to tear up. Because you guys gotta realize that's like 15, 20 plus years of money and time I've invested in this stuff. And I know it's just material stuff, but it's important stuff to me. Like it's I'm very sentimental to stuff like that. Not the stuff I sold to him, but like you get what I'm saying. Like this stuff, I know it's material goods, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. But like it's still important to me to know that I spent that time. I have memories of some of this stuff, and some of it holds sentimental memories and values to me. Like Resident Evil 2. When I got that, I had just started talking to my wife in high school, and that's when she was introduced to like my obsession, I guess, or nerdiness of collecting Tiger Handhelds. So a lot of these hold very sentimental memories and values to me because I tie them to a lot of different things in my life that are important points in my life. So it was kind of scary. Like I've had that stuff get water damage before, like some NES boxes, but never my Tiger handouts. I'm always very careful with these. I had no idea this was happening. And I'm not trying to, like I said, I'm not trying to do woe is me with the whole roof leaking thing, but I want to make that clear that that is a known problem with this house that my parents and we all know about. But I don't think it was that. I think we should still get it looked at for sure, but I'm not gonna obsess about it. But the fact that that maybe could have been a factor of it, because I know for a fact when I filmed the video up here, when I took out all the stuff in my collection and showed it off in that video, moisture was not in that container because we went through the entire container. So it had to happen from somewhere between after that video and like last week or something, because it seemed fairly fresh towards the bottom of it. Because Shinobi, it looked like it had been sitting in moisture for a while, and I think Shinobi honestly saved a lot of them. If I'm being honest with you, I think Shinobi took like the biggest hit because it was covered in mold. The, like that entire game is done, and he still took it. I don't know why he took it. He should have just tossed it. Like the artwork was molded, the bag was molded, the manual was probably molded. Like the game was probably shot. I doubt the game worked. Um, there was another Shinobi in there, so if he wanted Shinobi, like there was another one in there anyway. So, um, but yeah, it was scary, man. It could have been a lot worse. But anyway, getting to the stuff I sold, I basically sold all the Disney related stuff: Tailspin, Aladdin, Lion King, Chippendale Rescue Rangers, Rescuers from Down Under, um, Hook, um, the movie, the Universal Monsters, uh, three of those, the Mummy, Wolfman, Dracula. I didn't want to sell those, but he's a big horror collector guy, so I was like, I'll let those go since you really seem to like old horror movies and stuff like that. So I let those go. I didn't really want to, but I let them go. I feel like I'm missing something. I think he got Knight Rider and or did he pass on those? I know he looked at Knight Rider in 1942 or three, whatever it is. Um, I don't remember if he got those or not. Basically, like just all my Disney and kid stuff, I basically got rid of that, and some of my loose, like pinball, Karate King. I got rid of those because he had those when he was a kid. He said so, and I want to get those. I want to get those in the packaging anyway. So I was like, whatever. Um, my original copy of Mortal Kombat Trilogy, um, that I had when I was a kid, I threw that in there because I was like, look, that's why I'm keeping this one because it was mine as a kid. But I was like, since you're not gonna sell this stuff, I'll throw it in there. Um, now the thing that was bothering me though about like doing this whole deal here was like he was making it sound like I was valuing my collection, like the Disney stuff, because he was saying it was cheaper than I thought it should have been. Because he's like, well, you opened your stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but I kept the packaging in good shape, except for the Lion King because I got some moisture on it, but that wasn't my fault. But he was like, yeah, these are like 10, $15. And that was earlier yesterday. And I'm like, no, those are for loose copies, not ones with the packaging. I know for a fact I paid at least. I can look. Hold on. Let me look how much I paid for Aladdin. I think I can look. Okay, I paid like 25 for Aladdin. So I was like, because when he was like, they're like 10 to 15, I'm like, no, they're around 25. Because I said 20, and he was like, it seems a little high. And I'm like, no, that's, I think that's fair. Like for an open one. I didn't open those. I bought those opened. Those were already open when I got them. So I didn't open those. I bought those opened. But he wasn't being like condescending or nothing. I'm just saying like that's why I didn't really want to sell any of this stuff really, but like because it's hard to let go of stuff because I hold more value to it than it might really be worth to someone else. But like land and stuff like that, I was like, whatever. If you think I somewhat ripped you off a little bit or you paid too much, that was on you. Because he could have easily put those back, but he didn't. So that was on him. But I'm not throwing shade at the guy, but I'm just saying, like, I wasn't trying to like overvalue my stuff. I There was a couple things I sold way cheaper than I should have, like the Mario 3 watch, because it was missing. It didn't have the right watch band on it. I let him have that for stupidly cheap, and I know I shouldn't have, but like it didn't have a matching band, so I didn't care, and he wasn't willing to pay like a I think I wanted like 50 or 60 for it, but he was like, "Oh, it's too high. It doesn't have the watch matching band." I'm like, "Yeah, but it works. It's got the packaging." So like I had to just eat some of it, but I got a good amount in the end. I'm not gonna say the exact amount I got in the end, but it was a decent amount, and I've already bought one thing I've had my eye on for quite a long time, and that's coming soon. Not handle game related. It's something to do with my other collecting stuff I collect, retro video games. It deals with that. But suffice to say, I don't regret it at all. But I'm just saying, like, I never thought like I would downsize my collection to this level because I got rid of like at least 20 games about. So that's not a small amount. That's a pretty good amount for the collection I had. Do I regret it? No. If I ever want those games again, like Lion King, I'll probably replace because like I said, it was faded anyway. But the others, no. And plus, I might wait till I get like Timon and Pumbaa complete to like replace Lion King because Timon and Pumbaa would be way harder to find than um, Lion King would. So yeah, I just wanted to do this video talking about this because it was really nice and kind of freeing to like just unload some of this stuff and get a good amount of money for the stuff I sold. Like I don't regret it at all. The thing I regret is not being more vigilant about my collection and how they were being stored. But like I said, I think these bags saved a lot of the damage that could have happened. So to summarize, all my expensive stuff like Goldeneye, stuff like that, I went through most of everything. It's all good. None of the super rare stuff that I've gotten over the years, MC Hammer, nothing like that. It's all fine. So I don't want anybody freaking out thinking I need money to replace stuff. I don't. This is more me just telling you guys this story and just telling other collectors, be careful, be vigilant out there. Just be careful about how you store your stuff. Check on it. Make sure there's nothing going on with it because I didn't know that was happening. And like I said, it could be as simple as just getting a dehumidifier, but I don't know. If it was the roof leaking, why didn't the other containers have moisture in them? Especially that top grayish tan one. That's a mystery to me. Like I said, I think it was something to do with like moisture, humidity in the air, just dampness in the air, and it just seeped in to the container. But I don't know for sure. I'm not a scientist. I maybe some of the water that was in there evaporated into the container. Who knows? I don't know. But like I said, I am gonna be talking to my dad about that, about the roof stuff. So I don't want anybody thinking we need help with roof stuff. I'm just saying like that is a possibility of why it happened. So if you have any kind of roof leakage anywhere and you have a collection of anything, make sure you store it in a place that's not being affected by that, by a leak of any kind. Because if you are running a risk of this happening. And like I said, thank God it wasn't any worse than it was. Because I kept saying to myself, I'm like, I think Shinobi was like the soldier blocking all the other infantry members of my collection. Because I literally think that got probably 90% of that water. And I think Shinobi honestly saved my collection and the combination of these bags. So shout outs to my new collector buddy friend that helped me go through my collection. Um, he might watch this video. I told him about my channel and stuff. So if he watches this video, he didn't have to do what he did, staying here, help me go through my collection. But that just goes to show you when you meet good people and a good circle of collector friends, they will go to bat for you and help you out. So I really appreciate him just doing that for me. He didn't have to do that. That was super nice. Hell, he even offered to pay for our dinner, like when he got there. But we were like, no, dude, like you're here for me. I'm not forcing you to be here. You're not paying for our dinner. Like he was being super nice. So I just want you guys to know that despite what I said before, I don't hold any animosity towards. I was selling this stuff, so I have to take a hit on some of it. But like, I just want you to know that like some of it was like, but that's the way it goes when you're selling part of your collection sometimes. So anyway, that'll do it for me with this video. Like I said, I have no idea if this video is gonna do well. It might get 2 views, it might get 1,000 views, who knows? But I just wanted you guys to know this story and know that I downsized my collection and didn't really think I was going to. But it felt good doing it. But am I gonna sell any more of it? No. What I sold is what I'm gonna sell. Although he did offer me some money on the Back to the Future Tiger Hand that I have. But he said to keep it because we have no idea what it's worth. It could be worth $400. It could be worth $1,000. Who knows? So I don't know. That's one I might sell for. I have no. I'd have to really think about it and sit on it for a while to see if I can actually get a market value for that. But other than that, like nothing else is leaving my collection for a long time. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and thank you guys for supporting me on Patreon. Without you guys, a lot of that stuff that I just sold off and have had in my collection, I wouldn't have it if it wasn't for any of you guys supporting me on Patreon over the years. So if you've ever supported me or you're currently supporting me, thank you so much for supporting me because it really does help out the channel a lot, and it did help out with growing my collection, and now me downsizing it, I feel better about it. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I have hiccups now. But anyway, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace.